Alright, so I've got this A7S I just got in. Seems to have an issue with the shutter or shutter assembly. Get the error on startup. Camera error, turn power off then on. Likely shutter related. It's always interesting that this error, for some reason, stays on when you turn the camera off. I've never understood why that happens. You literally have to take the battery out in order for that to reset, or from my experience. What's interesting about this, well, a little interesting anyway, it looks like somebody tried to replace the front cover, the front plastic glass on here. I don't know why they stopped it that far, but I'm guessing they wanted to replace it due to this scratching here. But I'll probably just end up trying to clean it up and putting a screen protector on it, since the panel is good, and replacing that front glass is not an easy process. I've never had good luck doing it myself. It just comes out looking like trash, even though this doesn't look the greatest. A screen protector should hopefully keep that down and it won't come up, and then yeah, we'll just go from there if I'm able to fix it. It does have a little bit of wear on the body panels. No visible corrosion, I don't think. There's a little bit on the screws on the outside, which is sometimes to be expected. I mean, it's functional aside from the shutter, so I would imagine that we're okay as far as that goes. But yeah, I'm just going to dig into it and see where we're at with this guy. I do have another A7S that doesn't power up, so I might be able to steal the I don't know, I tried taking that out. I like to keep those in. I might be able to steal the shutter out of another camera that doesn't power up to fix this one, or potentially throw this board into the other camera. It just kind of depends on what I want to do or attempt to do. I think if I remember right, the other one had a little bit better, less wear on the body. And since it's shutter related, and the other one's board related, there's not really much benefit of keeping them in their respective cases or bodies. Alright, I'm going to stop talking and just start getting this thing torn apart. Missing a screw there. I don't remember taking that one out. Sorry if you can hear my cat in the background. I'm not sure what what he's doing. He's making a bunch of racket. What are you doing? What are you doing? He's playing inside my hamper in the laundry room. These three are number ones, just like as the A7 and the A7R. For basically the A7 line, the A7 ones, the Mark 1s, all these screws are the same. Let's just take this one out too, since we're taking it down to the shutter. So what is he doing in there? I don't know what it is lately, but the last ones I've been working on have been getting stuck at the camera mount point. I got that out, so it should go. I don't know if that happens when the camera mount itself is screwed on too tight, like it forms it around there and it gets stuck. I'm not sure exactly what happens. Not sure. There it goes. Gets like stuck on the screws there. I'm not really sure, but they can be a pain in the butt. And maybe it like pulls this down, this metal down. That was a little loose. That was a little loose. Everything's clean on that side. This is interesting. This is the second A7S that has these pads on there. That's not on the A7R or the A7. These pads. It's kind of interesting. This is only the second S I've taken apart, and I've never seen those particular pads before. they have a stickier adhesive, it seems, also, so they're a little bit more difficult to get off. Jesus, cats are playing. I want to take this off slowly. You don't want to rip this thing off. Don't want to damage any of the ribbons. And hold this one down so it doesn't rip. Yeah, I don't like this other. It must be some EM protection, possibly, like some. I have to look in to see what those adhesive strips are. Those are just different. Okay. Flip up all the ribbons. I don't see any corrosion, so that's good. Thing about shutter work is you got to take the whole camera apart and then, you know, put a new shutter in, or in this case I want to see if there's something I can do to fix the shutter. But if you can't fix the shutter, you put it back together and it's still broken, you just waste a bunch of time. You know, for a camera shop, it would just be better, you know, as far as time and cost, to just replace the whole thing. But since I purchase specifically broken ones to try to repair them, keeping my costs down, you know, is more what I'm trying to do, even though if I have to spend more time, because this is just a hobby. I enjoyed doing it, so the time involved really isn't a huge factor to me, other than, you know, I can sell cameras faster if obviously I fix them faster. So, but I really don't make a whole ton by fixing and reselling, honestly. I mean, sometimes I can make a decent profit, but others some cases I've lost money on reselling just because of the shipping and fees and all that. So far I haven't had anything returned, which is good. It kind of tells me that I'm doing something right. Like, that's just my thought on that. Something in my eye. These top two secure the top assembly. Let's see, oh yeah, that's super easy. So there's like zero corrosion in this thing. If there's any sort of like moisture issues, you can really tell when taking off the top. Yeah, no, this is pretty clean. Tiny touch right there, but the moisture gets into these cameras super easy, and they start getting around this rim, around the seal, and they start crusting up in this area, and you know, it expands and makes the top super tight, but there's like zero corrosion on this one, so that's really good. That's really good. I really don't see much of anything. Maybe a very, very tiny, yeah, like, I don't know, somebody sneezed on it or something. You know, I doubt that, but very, very light mark there, like nothing. This is probably one of the cleanest cameras I've seen in a while as far as corrosion goes. Many cameras will get a tiny bit around this top part, just because the weather sealing on these is pretty much non-existent. I found that out one time at a paranormal investigation. I took my camera outside when it was like barely sprinkling, and I got it must have been like one drop on the shutter button, and then my shutter button autofocus wouldn't work. So they're very, very finicky to moisture and very easy to corrode. This can be kind of initially a little stiff to get off because there's some, I believe there's some thermal pads on the other side here, yeah. So there's a thermal pad that sticks to that chip and it just kind of grips it. I enjoy working on the Mark I line a little bit more than the Mark II line, but the construction of the case and how things are laid out and the Mark I's are a little less friendly to take apart. Like this, you have to flip it over to get those undone. And then this middle case piece, it's just a little different process. Yeah, that board's really clean. Really clean. I always wondered about this little ribbon here too, like they couldn't just extend the ribbon out, or is there something on here that that's additional? Like, I never understood this little piece here, because it's easier to get that off when it's attached. You don't want to rip that, because that goes to the low pass filter on the sensor, and yeah, that's just a nightmare to try to deal with. If you don't have a clean room, you're pretty much done. Now this is a little bit different than this. The construction of this is a little bit different from the A7R and the A7S. This is like a brass or copper, must be copper, but the way this goes on is a little bit different. So it's got to be the same for the top part here. It must be this one. No, that's, wait. No, that goes to the, must be this one. Did they make this one a little easier to take apart? Must be this one, I think. Yeah. Yeah. There's a little, oh, a little resistance in there. What's holding this up? Oh, maybe it's just a little tight. Let's just be a little tight. Oh, yeah, okay. Just a little tight. There's only 2 screws to get that one off. The other one, you gotta take this screw off, and then another one that's above the battery compartment. Yeah, this all looks good. Really good. Now that's different. The backing on the image sensor, that's really interesting. Let's see, so at this point it should be this one. I'm not putting these in the thing yet because I need to secure down the shims. You don't want to mess with the shims on these because they're calibrated specifically for this camera body. Okay, we got a little piece of adhesive here. another piece of adhesive. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to remember that for future. Okay, so sensor is pretty clean. Yeah, a little dust on there, but pretty clean. You don't want any dust, additional dust getting in any of that. So, exactly what I said you don't want to do. Fortunately, they all didn't fall out, otherwise this could have been a bad time. Those shims were stacked. There's, you know, different thicknesses of these things. Oh my goodness. So I get these on, I'm going to double check, make sure nothing else fell into the camera. Some people use tape for this. Since these screws are unique to these posts anyway, I just use the screws that were there originally. Yeah, nothing else looks like it fell in there, so that's good. So I guess we're at the shutter now. Usually only, I believe, 3 or so screws holding this on. Yeah, all this is really clean. I mean, there's no corrosion on this thing. That's really amazing. That's what I like to see. Very well kept camera. It's unfortunate that the shutter had to go on it, but well, I don't know exactly what happened to the shutter. I haven't figured out exactly how to do anything with these shutters. I've torn a couple apart, but I haven't figured out how to work them, like fix them. I don't even know if you can. It's like this one was the problem, maybe, because that's not resetting all the way back up. It's not fully. Yeah, it's not fully closing. It's like this spring is what tensions it. It's like it's not twisting far enough. I don't know if you can see that, but there's that spring holds onto a little notch in here, a little lever, and it's not resetting it back all the way. I bet there's nothing wrong with this motor. It's just the fact that it's not resetting completely. Thought there was just one screw that holds this together. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh. That's interesting. Like when I left the tension off of that screw, it completely shut. So that's how it's supposed to reset. So is it an issue with that? I happen to have a. I don't think this shutter was good. I don't know if this shutter is good or not, but see how that resets all the way back down? That's how it's supposed to go. Is there a problem with this motor assembly? Just throw this on here real quick and see if that resolves the problem. Okay, so it does. Well, it looks like one of my torn apart shutters, one of the shutter springs. This is a corroded shutter that I took apart just to kind of see how it operated. The shutter on this one was completely shot. But I just wanted to see how it kind of went together. But it's interesting that this motor assembly fixed the problem with the resetting position. So there's got to be something going on with this. Like, why isn't it coming back down? Are these gears slightly out of position? Did they slip? I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. I can see at the moment that the gears are in a different position. I don't know that that necessarily means anything. Take a photo of these just so I have a reference. This gear needs to be, I don't know, halfway around the other direction. Let's play around with it, I guess. I don't know. The spring is going to be a problem potentially. Maybe not. Looks like there's a little capacitor there. Let's check to see if it's okay. I don't know if there's a ground on here. Where's the ground? I don't know which one goes to ground. I mean, it's probably going to work here. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work. I'm no electrical engineer. I don't think there's a way to test that in without it being in the camera, honestly. This might be a really bad idea, but it's not working as is, so. Just don't want this spring to go flying when I remove this. Or is it able to be removed? Oh, I can just turn that. Okay, I'm putting this back together. I might be able to just, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. It looks like I can just roll this gear and it, oh, what is that? Or is that supposed to be there? I doubt that's supposed to be there. What is that from? It's like part of the case? It looks like the same kind of metal. What would that have been off of? Just a defect in manufacturing from another. Oh, it looks like it could have been like one of these little posts, like on the camera body itself. Was it a defect in the manufacturing process? A piece came from another camera and somehow got inside and eventually just made its way into that shutter? motor. Huh. I don't know if that's all that really needed to be fixed on it. I think this is that right at the, okay, so a couple millimeters past the high point. I'm sure if I was smarter I'd be able to do this a little bit easier, but oh, yeah, I'm getting close. Oh, it won't go. Oh, there it goes. See, it wasn't going to go anymore. Maybe that's the reset point. Oh, yeah, this whole time I'm moving the wrong one. I should have left this one where it was at. Good thing I took a photo. Well, if I had to guess, that's probably that piece of metal there. That's probably what was the problem. Alright, we're going to flip these back out. Put it in, put it all back together, and see if it works. I hope I get lucky. Well, I guess we'll see if this putting this other one back on will work. Okay, that's promising. Alright. Thank you, old shutter. I gotta redo the link between these two ones. This didn't get attached in there properly. Two little notches need to go. There we go. Alright, how much time are we taking up here? It's been 50 minutes, not bad. Alright, yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's try to get this back together. Yeah, I still don't know where that that piece would have come from. That doesn't make any sense to me. The only thing I can think of is it came from the factory. I would say it kind of is a best case scenario kind of deal, if it works. I just don't, I don't know. I gotta stop looking, it's just wasting time. I just don't know where this piece would have come from. It's a little metal tab. It's like it's off of something like that, but it's maybe you've spotted it while I'm working on this thing. I don't know. If you did, let me know. look at this sensor assembly just to make sure it didn't come off of there. I don't think it uses the same kind of metal like that, but yeah, I mean, on the bracket itself it does, but there's no little tabs and they're not broken, so make sure that these are nice and snug. Looks good. Get this adhesive piece back on here, if it will go. Okay. Alright, that looks good. And we're just in put back together mode. So these ribbons are always kind of tricky. You gotta like get them kind of positioned through before you try to seat this. So you got these three that gotta go. And you can't really position them once the thing's in place. Very tricky. Oof. Ah. Okay, that's those three. This gotta be. That's why the A7 II line are a little bit nicer, because they organize the ribbons in such a way that this is less of an issue. Okay. When I put stuff back together, the outside screws that are a little white with a little bit of corrosion, I like to put those on the inside so that the outside finish of the camera looks like it should. You can clean this stuff off with like a vinegar solution, but the vinegar will also take off the black paint. I guess it's not the biggest deal, but you can kind of try to preseat that when you're putting this on, because it's kind of difficult to get in there in general. It's easier to push than pull sometimes. There we go. Make sure that's on the outside. Oh, I was wondering why those were so short. I can get them pulled all the way through. Just kind of walk them in, make sure that they're straight. You don't want any of these to move on you. You don't want them to be crooked. Kind of lift them all up. Shimmy it to the side, lift up a tiny bit. There we go. Oh, I think something went. Yep. Be very careful with these tiny ribbons underneath there. This one can be a little bit of a pain. go. Just about done here, really. Final stretch. I hope. Hopefully this thing turns on and functions now. That came off. Very careful. There we go. These just kind of like want to push the ribbon back and let the tension itself slide it right into the slot. It's the easiest way to do any of these ribbons. That one got hung up on the bottom lip of the seat. Oh, here it goes. Oh, rookie mistake. This one's gotta go back out. I always just like seating the ribbon, so I forget about this one because it's got the screw on the underside. The only way you can get to it is if that's off. Also make sure that this is seated properly in here. Excuse me. Forgot to put those screws back in place. I had to double check on the diagram to see if those were just regular number 2s. If they are, I don't have to put them back in place. Oh, yeah, that's not yet. It's this one. Rats! I did it again. Rats, rats, rats. Ugh. I don't want to know. I don't want to tell you how many times I've done that. I need to maybe just not take this out. I think I can get away with not taking that out in some cases. Throws off my whole rhythm. That one's really tight, so you got to take that one out. I'm wondering if I can just take this board. I'm hoping. Let's see. Man. Oh, God. This is so unfortunate. God, I gotta remember that. That's gonna have to be something that... Because you get this far and you have to put that stupid mount back in. It really throws it off. I could have been close to done now, but I've got to take this back apart now. At least you got to take this top off. I mean, that throws a wrench in a lot of the assembly. I'm hoping I don't have to take that ribbon off. Unfortunate. This is how you learn. This is how you remember. Because this really bites. I had all this, oh my goodness, I had all of this put together and now I've got to disassemble because I forgot to put this stupid mount in and this stupid frame. It just sucks. This screw okay, sorry, had a medical emergency a minute ago. Alright, we're putting this thing back together because I Had to disassemble it again to get this stupid mount point back in. Don't forget to put that back in. Oh, no, no. That's Remy. Apparently he wanted to make an appearance. One of our new kitties. He likes to jump up everywhere he shouldn't be. supervising. You can sit there if you want. Okay, and in. I like to try to seat this one a little bit before I put it down. This one doesn't have any tabs on the side really that are easy to get in. You can kind of push down and in, yeah, like that, and get these seated on the upper corners. So now let's test it, make sure that it's functioning. Nope. Let's put this ribbon in. But yeah, let's put this in and see if the shutter works. and see what we get. Ooh! Nice. I always reset it. Couple basic settings. Let's put a lens on it, and hopefully the shutter fires and resets and it all works and we're good. Oh, got zebra on. I hate this freaking zebra, man. Ooh, yes. Okay, set on single shot. But it fired and reset. Yeah, look at that. We fixed it. All right, sweet. Sweet. All right, now we just gotta button it up. Some people who I've seen repair these don't put this back the way it's supposed to, so I always try to remember to do that. Too far. You want to try to get this as far over as you can, but not too far, obviously. That's a good spot. The wireless goes over top of this also, just like the ribbon. Good. Good. I almost forgot the one. Shouldn't have done the board work with that in. You can short stuff out if you have power running through it. Obviously the switch is off, but still. Don't really generally want to do that. Oh, I forgot to screw down the one that was underneath the board on the top right, top left. That's where the extra, well, it's not a huge deal. Got it all sandwiched together. One missing screw on that piece isn't gonna do anything. And it allowed me to replace the missing screw there, so it's all working out. Gorilla Glue seems to work well for these things. Fortunately, this one isn't completely ripped off, so that's also a plus. You don't want to glue that shut. And we're good. Alright, this one's going to be posted for sale. I'll double check all the other settings as far as the aperture, and double check, make sure all the options work. But yeah, this one's done. Alright, and I'll put a screen protector on it, so like I said, I'm going to clean that off and put a screen protector on it. But yeah, this one's good to go. Well, hopefully you found that interesting. Thanks. Bye.